We've got us another Saracen. Sweet. Well, hello there YouTubers, this is a Saracen Mantra 1. Now, many years ago, I had one of these. I had an orange one back in 2008, 2007, sometime around there. On paper, it was my first proper mountain bike. Yes, I had a Coyote before that, which has a decent frame on it, but this had slightly better parts on it, or the Mantra 2 at least did. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was still kind of terrible. It's just a budget mountain bike, and this is indeed one of those. It had Mantra 2 axle forks on it. This is a Mantra 1, so it has the even worse RST Gila T6 forks on it. But it does have a few upgrades. I mean, it has the zoom brakes on it, which are missing a bolt, as you can see. It has the awful wake stem, but it does have nuke-proof handlebars. These are 760 wide, so you know, wide-ish handlebars. It has this dropper seat post. With this, you move this and it goes up and down. It has a SRAM NX crankset on here. Strangely enough, this is a 2x. I thought all NX was a 1x, but I guess they did do a 2x. It has a Hope chainring on here, 34 tooth Hope chainring. It has Shimano, I thought this was an SLX or something, but no, it's an XT. An XT rear derailleur. She's running 10, I think she's running 10 speed. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, she's a 10 speed. It's got Schwalbe Magic Mary tyres on here. And yeah, you know, I had one of these back in the day. I will edit that video in so you can see it. It was the first mountain bike that I sort of rebuilt, sort of really worked on. I wasn't really into bikes then. I was into like electric go-karts, electric scooters and stuff, and of course still am, but they were sort of getting hot on that with the police and things like that, so I got into push bikes and have done many hundreds of miles on push bikes since. Yeah, I actually used to use the electric scooters everywhere, like when I was a kid. Everyone was on a bike, I was on a scooter. And I got into riding bikes at like Danbury and places like that, and just into riding bikes in general. This was probably the first bike that really got into that big time. So yeah, I owe that to one of these old things, really. These frames are quite interesting. They can handle up to 130mm travel. Obviously it's a 26er, you know, old school. I mean, I was just going to buy this and strip this apart, but it was actually my mum that said, you know, you do realise those are getting kind of old now, and you're probably going to start seeing them less and less, and indeed, you don't see them that often. It's kind of crazy to think every boot seller used to see a black Saracen Mantra or a grey Saracen Mantra and they'll be 40-50 quid all day long. Of course, it wouldn't be perfect for that price, but it would be there. But it's scary to think that 2007 was 16 years ago. This particular one is a 2006, because RST Gila plus T6, and the T plus the number is the year, so that's how you know how old your bike is. 120mm travel. Yeah, right, you're looking at 120 out of these, maybe 80 at the most. Yeah, no, these RST Gila suspension forks were known for some serious issues. So, yeah, that's just, you know, how it is. They were known for like snapping stanchions. They used to ovalise inside the crown and it used to separate from the rest of it, leading to many injuries and stuff on various bikes, from Saracens, GTs, Trek. That's why a lot of the cheaper bikes use Suntour forks these days, not RSTs. They also had a fork called the RST High Five, which a subscriber basically mentioned their mate sued RST for £25,000 allegedly. So, yeah, or dollars, I'm not sure what country. I think it was in the UK. So yeah, they recalled a lot of the RST High Fives. So, you know, that was someone that actually got a payout out of them, which is good. They shut down the UK distributor, and then this now exists again under, and I think they changed it slightly. I don't know how that quite works. But basically it says RST UK is out of business, even though it's clearly not. So yeah, in the recall notice, they do have mismatched wheels, and they have MX. I think just a generic Halfords. That gives you a website there. MPCHL-FR. Don't know. And this one. Yeah, oh no, it's the same brand. It's actually the same brand, made in France. It says both of them. They both have reinforced spoke eyelets, but This one has a much thicker rim profile to this one. So yeah, it has this West biking saddle, comfortable. I'll be the judge of that. It is actually quite comfortable for a saddle like this. Usually a bigger saddle will really chafe on your legs more, and I'm not really tried this over like a 100-mile ride or anything, but it actually does feel pretty good. Usually I don't. It has, we save 10 grams from the carbon spacers for anyone that's seen IFHT. Just got carbon spacers on there. What you've got to laugh, oh, it's got a GT, the top cap's off a GT. That's quite funny. Upgraded grips. What are these? Vans apparently. Okay, Vans grips. Vans grips, zoom brakes, wake stem, nuke proof bars, SRAM X crankset, Shimano XT rear derailleur. It's a bit of a mismatch, but it works. I'll be getting rid of this though. These are, well, wake stuff, let's just say. Well, we all know it's cheap for a reason, right? These I've seen as little as £2 shipped to your door. Well, I've seen one once, it was missing the thread. So they had 3 bolts in it and the thread was not there. They just hadn't put it in from the factory. So that's the kind of attention to detail we're talking about with that. But yeah, apart from that, not a bad deal. £50 I paid for it. So, you know, I'll swap the forks over for some period correct Mazokis or something like that. But yeah, that concludes my video on the retro Saracen Mantra mountain bike. Thank you for watching.